keep us on the air. Please donate because we don't get paid by the Prime Minister's office. Andrew Perez is a Liberal strategist. He's been here before. We've had some very good discussions, which he's not always supporting the government fully. But we've talked about things are changing. But let me talk about how they're changing. Because when Trudeau announced that he was resigning, the Liberal Party had 100,000 people on its roster. Now it has 400,000. 300,000 people signed up in a matter of weeks. You don't have to have a membership card. Doesn't cost any money. They could be, they could be from other countries. They could be somebody's dog. There has to be a lot of vetting, but that's not going to be always successful. How democratic is that for 300,000 people to elect a Prime Minister of Canada?
Look, I will say, Stephen, that I think it is grassroots democracy, and I would give the party credit for tightening the eligibility.
They said they were tightening it, but you know what? When you're signing up and you don't have to be there in person, you don't have to show any credit, citizenship or anything, you don't have to pay anything. It's tough.
And so what the party needs to do now, with the backdrop of the risk of foreign interference in any leadership race.
Yes, and we know that it's there.
And there was foreign interference in the 2022 Conservative Party leadership race. The party, in the lead up to the vote on March 9th, needs to do its due diligence, needs to vet those memberships to ensure that the final result is credible.
And so why should Canadians from coast to coast to coast believe those party hacks in Ottawa, who I used to lead, who are people paid to do this, and they aren't politicians, they aren't brain surgeons. Why should anybody believe that the party's done this well?
It's a fair point. I think it's in the Liberal Party's interest to ensure that there is no foreign interference and that people who join the party are Liberals. In fact, Stephen, there's a $10,000 fine that Canadians face if they join the party and are a member of a different party or say they're someone that they're not. So there are steep penalties in place.
It'll never happen. But let's just move on from that, though. So then we have a leader elected by the party. That person's Prime Minister. Should there be an election soon after to let the country decide?
Well, I mean, ideally there should be. And we see now that even though Carney hasn't won this thing yet, he has a lead.
Okay, assume Carney's the Prime Minister of Canada. Nobody's voted for him except for 300,000 supposed Liberals.
Well, the irony,
should Canadians have a chance?
The irony, Stephen, is Conservatives were demanding a carbon tax election. They wanted it this moment. Now we're hearing from the Liberal Brain Trust that Carney's advisors may be advising that he call a snap election to take advantage of this honeymoon period. And so I'm not even sure if Conservatives want a spring election anymore, and I don't even know what Jagmeet Singh thinks.
From a democratic point of view, though, do you think we just sort of throw it open, though, let the country decide?
Look, I think we should go to the polls soon, whether it's in the spring or the fall. But my hunch is that a spring election right now is all but inevitable. And Canadians will have their say. And I think what's positive is this is going to be a competitive election. And that's how democracy ought to be, competitive.
I hope you're right, and I think you will be. Andrew, thank you very much. 3 minutes. To those of you who have subscribed and donated, a heartfelt thank you. You're keeping us on the air. If you're watching and you haven't, please try to do so, because 4 years ago we started this show because there needed to be independent analysis. Now more than ever, with the Online Harms Act, once that gets into law, it's been passed once by the House, there are going to be hundreds of bureaucrats censoring the news in Canada, censoring this show. We need to keep it on the air. Thanks for your support.